Week 14. Benny Gantz and fellow party members Gadi Eisenkot and Chili Tropper will not attend today's weekly meeting of ministers. This follows tension between Benny Gantz and Prime Minister Netanyahu over the future of Gaza during a security cabinet meeting on Thursday, which turned ugly and had Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi leave before the meeting was declared closed. Thursday's meeting, called to discuss planning for the next phases of the war against Hamas and the administration of Gaza after the war, ended in a loud and angry confrontation between right-wing politicians and IDF representatives. Prime Minister Netanyahu cut short the meeting after 3 hours, but he did not intervene during the assailing of the IDF Chief of Staff. Transportation Minister Miri Regev led the assault, with National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich and Regional Cooperation Minister David Amsalem joining to confront Halevi and demanding to know why the army had decided to launch the investigation with fighting ongoing in Gaza. Those ministers also expressed anger over the inclusion of former Defence Minister Shaul Mofaz, who was Chief of Staff at the time of the 2005 withdrawal from Gaza, in the internal probe. Some on the far right have expressed their desire to see Gaza reoccupied after the war. It's a no-goer. On Friday, IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari explained that investigating the military's failures is essential to its fighting in the Gaza Strip, as well as preparing itself for other fronts. He said it would help minimize casualties to our forces. Defence Minister Yoav Gallant said that after the Security Cabinet meeting, he had called the Chief of Staff in order to praise him and asked him to pass along to the soldiers of the IDF that he trusts them and supports them. Benny Gantz said Prime Minister Netanyahu was responsible for Thursday's fiasco. He said it is his responsibility to fix this and to choose between unity and security or politics. 3 months into the war, the cabinet today approved a 9 billion shekel plan of wartime assistance for IDF reserve soldiers, following claims that the state is neglecting the 360,000 men and women who were called up for reserve duty in the wake of Hamas's October 7th onslaught. The package expands the existing financial assistance available for reserve soldiers and their partners, with special compensation track available for self-employed reservists who lost their incomes while serving in the army over the past 3 months. The Prime Minister said he'd instructed the Finance Minister and the Defence Minister not to wait for the budget to be passed, but to find the sources of funds immediately. Arnon Ben David, the chairman of the Histadrut Labour Union, has agreed to a request by families of the hostages to hold a 100-minute labour strike on January the 14th, which will be the 100th day since October 7th, when they were kidnapped by Hamas. The brief strike will entail halting work and taking part in rallies to support the families of the 132 Hamas hostages still being held captive in Gaza. This is Peter Jones-Pellach reporting for NCJWA, Australia.